A+ലേക്കുള്ള വഴി ഇനി തനിയെ തുറക്കാം. Subscribe to the ENCLAPS channel. Ring the bell button and open success. It's that easy.
Hi. Today, let's learn about the financial institutions of our country. So, what is a financial institution? Financial institutions are those institutions where financial transactions like deposits, loans, etc. take place. There are two types of financial institutions. The first is the banks, we all know. The second is non-banking financial institutions. First, let's learn about banks. Banks are institutions that accept deposits from the public and grant loans to the needy, subject to conditions. There are many banks in our country. State Bank of India, HDFC, ICICI, Canara Bank, Punjab National Bank, Federal Bank, etc. like many. Banks operate on the basis of the general guidelines and conditions set by the Reserve Bank of India. Let us see what are the major functions of banks. Accepts deposits from individuals, institutions and government. Give back the deposit amount with interest. Grant loans to individuals, institutions and government. Collect loan amount with interest. That is, interest is charged on both accepting deposits and giving loans. The rate of interest on loans will be higher than the rate of interest given for deposits. For example, suppose you deposit rupees 10,000 in a bank. The interest charged on the deposit in that bank is 3%. Then, suppose you borrow rupees 10,000 from the same bank. You will be charged by an interest rate of more than 3%. The difference between these interest rates is the main income of the bank. Hope it is clear how banks works. Let us now look at the banks in India. Which was the first bank in India? The Bank of Hindustan was the first modern bank in India. It was started in 1770. The growth of the banking sector from then to today can be divided into three phases. The first phase is the period from 1770 to the nationalization of bank in 1969. In this phase, the presidency banks, Bank of Bengal, Bank of Bombay and Bank of Madras were established by the British East India Company. The operation and the growth of banks were slow during this phase. The second phase stretches from 1969 to 1990, witnessed a speedy development of banks. Until 1969, SBI was the only nationalized bank in India. In 1969, 14 banks were nationalized and in 1980, 6 banks were nationalized. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India during this period. The main objectives of nationalization were to bring the banking system to the rural areas and to provide easy financial assistance to the farmers. The third phase is the banking period from 1991 to the present day. This is the era of new generation banks. From this period onwards, other than their basic functions, banks started rendering services. Banking procedures fastened. This has resulted in more time savings. Our time saving machines like ATMs, credit card, phone banking, net banking, core banking, etc. are the result of the third phase. So, hope it is clear why the banks of this era are known as the new generation banks. This is also the stage that witnessed the merger of several public sector banks. On April 1st, 2017, State Bank of India, the largest public sector bank in India, merged with State Bank of Travancore, State Bank of Hyderabad, State Bank of Mysore, State Bank of Patiala and Bharatiya Mahila Bank. Even though these banks basically perform the same functions, there exist differences in some operations. On the basis of operations, banks are classified into four: commercial banks, cooperative banks, development banks, and specialized banks. Hope you understood about banks. We'll learn more. See you later.
3 ലക്ഷത്തിലേറെ വരുന്ന ചോദ്യോത്തരങ്ങൾ ഏറ്റവും കുറഞ്ഞ ചിലവിൽ സ്വന്തമാക്കുവാൻ ഉടൻ തന്നെ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യൂ എൻക്ലാപ്സ് ദ ലേണിംഗ് ആപ്പ്.